Welcome to the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. It is Daytona and it is the Raw before the 24. It's the fourth session of the weekend. It is the second of today's three action, and welcome to our 1 hour session. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, I'm Joshua Birch, and we are all set for this afternoon session to get underway. Just another hour for the drivers to get used to the conditions in the pre-season test before we go into our 3 practice sessions next week ahead of both qualifying and the 24 hours of Daytona. So, the previous session saw a red flag at the end, which means we are very much now in a catch-up. Just 1 hour for these drivers to get information in what is a qualifying time. So they're going to treat this very much as a qualifying session. 60 minutes on the clock is going to be very, very exciting. Now, times this morning, we're in the 1:38. Still some of the slowest we've had out there as well. So we're going to be seeing hopefully a bit faster this afternoon. Track conditions are looking a lot better, a lot smoother out there. We've got 49 cars out on the track, 11 still in the pit lane. Track temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit, air temperature 72 Fahrenheit, 60% humidity, wind speed at 3 miles per hour. And already, car 75 is stopped on pit lane at turn 2. That is what should be with Will Power's car, and that's back in GTD Pro, the car that topped the previous session in that class. Just trying to work out, it's Halbel at the wheel of the Mercedes AMG GT3. So we'll select as well the correct graphic to show to the teams for the racing team. So that stopped at turn 2. Hopefully we get that sorted. It's just 1 hour then for these drivers to get out there on the circuit. We're going to continue our look back at the 2025 season. And next up, we head over to Canada for the IMSA Chevrolet Grand Prix at CTMP. This is the race recap as we have around about a full 56 minutes left.
Lights are out on the pace car. That means we are coming to green. Michelin starting grid on your screen right there. We say congrats to the man behind the wheel of that purple LMP2 car. That's Spike, the Dragon for AO Racing. PJ Hyatt gets back-to-back poles. Watkins Glen, and here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
What a monster lap he put together late in qualifying. The last lap flyer. Start's going to be so important. You're going to tip it into turn 1 at over 100 miles an hour. There's a little argy-bargy there touching on the run to the green.
Dan Goldberg is all fired up in that United Autosport car, the blue and red one. The Chevrolet Grand Prix is underway here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Great jump from PJ Hyatt from the pole position. Now you're going to keep an eye out for the BMW of Neil Verhagen on the left of your screen, down the bottom there, as he gets the jump on Aaron Tielitz.
Great start by our 2 pole sitters. You see the action as the LMP2 cars steam down the hill. That's turn 3 you're looking at right there on screen as the GTD field hit turn 2.
Already some early positional changes, but certainly not for the overall. PJ Hyatt has taken off.
Touch there between the Corvette and the BMW. That was really dicey there at high speed, and the tyres aren't completely in their window right yet in terms of pressures or temperature.
Here comes the Pfaff Lamborghini. They're also in the mix. So they stretch their legs, the P2 prototypes, up the back part of this circuit, this 2.5-mile circuit. And it's PJ Hyatt over Dan Goldberg and Stephen Thomas, then Jeremy Clark, and then George Kurtz.
About 165 miles an hour as you tip it into turn 8. Beautiful sequence of corners here to finish off the lap. It's a quick lap here at CTMP.
It is crazy to think that this AO Racing LMP2 program is yet to win in IMSA WeatherTech competition. The team manager, Gunnar Jeanette, said hopefully we can convert this pole to a win today. The Lamborghini and Corvettes go at it at the end of the opening lap.
Caldarelli for the home squad here. Pfaff Racing is making some early. Oh, there's a problem. A spin in the middle of the field. Looks like as Danny Formel has got tipped around coming out of turn 9.
And the Triassi Ferrari It is not a good scene for John Ferrano in the Tower Events number 8. This is another Canadian driver in this field, one of the 9 in this race today.
I'm not sure he did touch him. I think maybe John saw him, just tightened his hands a little bit as he tried to accelerate off the corner. I'm not sure if he thought that maybe PJ was to his right flank and didn't want to widen the corner and open his hands up at the same time as he went to power. It's certainly tight. And I'm sure the IMSA race control will be taking multiple looks at that before they make the call.
He comes through the traffic. Here is the incident for the United Autosport driver. Whoa!
Yeah, I think he's trying to get down the inside of maybe Brendan Reed there, and maybe the room ran out for him. He had to pinch it a little bit. Problem is you're cresting those hills, Lee. If you suddenly get on the brakes or you lift off the gas pedal abruptly, it throws all of the weight forward in the nose, pins the nose with the downforce as well, and you can go for a quick spin like that.
Look at this. Look no further than the AWA. Look
big
no
incident
further here than a 4-car pile-up at Moss Corner.
Big stack up.
George Kurtz, who was running in the top 3, was involved in that. Stephen Thomas gets by there.
Brendan Reeb in the yellow Ferrari.
And the orange and blue P2 car is the Riley Motorsports Ranch 74 of Gar Robinson. Here's Chris Cumming. His car damaged.
Well, the Canadians in the field, yeah. See how this one developed. Big traffic. That's a Reeb up ahead. There's George Kurtz, and then Chris Cumming dives down to the inside. And I'm not sure if George was not able to turn in because Chris was to his right, or whether he just misjudged it. He tips Cumming around, and then, he tips Reeb around, then Cumming and Gar Robinson had nowhere to go.
A big winner in that deal was Nick Boole, as he was able to get by everybody.
I think what happened there, I think George was trying to be patient and wait for Reeb to clear the second part of Moss Corner. Then he suddenly saw Cumming to his inside and maybe just tried to squirt the gas pedal and see if he could dive to the apex and mistimed it. Let's take a look from the onboard. Yeah, I think he just felt the pressure from the inside there. I think Cumming was taking advantage of George just kind of holding station there a little bit, just wanted to let Ferrari get through the corner and then tackle him going up the straightaway. But it all just went wrong in a heartbeat.
And so now George is doing the best he can to stay on the lead lap. He does not want to be overtaken, and there's contact there either side of the Triassi Ferrari. That was scary.
That is crazy stuff there at these sort of speeds. I mean, George just flicked around. I thought he almost got touched by Hyatt. How quick the maneuver was around that GT car, and then they almost came together when they had that GT car as the meat in the sandwich. Leader of Triazzi. Watch George come across a little bit too early. PJ just keeps his foot in it. A big head of steam up the Mario Andretti straightaway. And just clears him there as they go side by side through turn 8.
Nice guys do win. Look at this, because it is on in GTD Pro between Corvette and BMW. They have built their history this year, and it hasn't necessarily been great history. There is a lot of emotion between these two racing organizations.
There really is. The #1 car now with Madison Snow behind the wheel, taking over from the pole sitter Neil Verhagen, putting the pressure on Alex Sims. Sims won here in a BMW one year. He won here in Corvette livery last year, of course, defending class champion here, but he was really hanging on there. He knew he couldn't afford to let that position up, and now he's got a little bit of traffic to take the pressure off.
And speaking of this racetrack, we've got a full course caution, Lee.
It's nasty. It is nasty. That's George Kurtz and the crowd strike with APR entry. George had been having a good day. He was involved in an incident earlier on, but at the low-speed Moss Corner, this is incredibly high speed. And that is a severely damaged P2 prototype.
Guys, a problem down here on pit lane with the 48. A bad entry. The car is cocked in the box. Very difficult to try to get the right front impact gun on to get the lug and get the wheel off and replace it with the new one. Certainly lost a number of seconds here on pit lane. Small mistakes can hit you big.
Yeah, and there's a lot of flexibility, Matty, to short fill. I mean, we're basically about a stint and a quarter in terms of normal green flag running to get to the finish of this race. So If you believe you got to come a pit lane again anyway, you can take a bit of a fly right now, a bit of a gamble. Short fill the race car and leapfrog cars on pit lane. So I'll be interested to see the sequence coming in and leaving pit lane if anyone's taken that choice.
Adam Adelson is behind the wheel of the 120 right Motorsports Porsche. Brian Till, we are approaching the halfway mark. What did you see on that round of stops?
Well, they had a problem as well. Matt talked about little mistakes. The car came in, they were going to fuel it left rear tire only. That's not surprising. Left side takes a punishment around this racetrack. The tire changer went to the left rear, the fueler went to the nose, but no one plugged the air hose in, and they waited a long time. Fuel was done before they got that left rear on, and Adam Adelson got back out into pit lane.
It could be Dane Cameron up against Tom Blomqvist, up against Benjamin Peterson, Tom Dillman, Hunter McElroy. Well, we've got it on track right here, right now. Let's go back racing. Chevrolet Grand Prix here in Canada. Big names in these P2 machines going at it at the front of this field.
Look at these cars weaving around, just trying to get those tires clean, and at the same time you generate a little bit of tire temp. That's mainly about cleanup here, running around under yellow, get a lot of marbling and pick up on the tires. Cameron is scorched off at the front of this pack. Just the cadence that you have to try and find here, and knowing where those GTD machines will give you a little bit of speed to make those moves. Dane Cameron's a past GTD champion. He knows that was really tight there.
Up ahead, Tom Dillman forced his way through on that United Autosports P2 car. Dillman is on the move. The champ from last year is on the attack, and all eyes are on Dane Cameron. We told you at the top of the show that we may see this. You are seeing it now. Peterson with a really savvy move on Blomqvist in Moss Corner, and Hunter McElroy is opportunistic as well. Canada, meanwhile, up front, you saw what that traffic did to Tom Dillman's pursuit of Dane Cameron. Dane was able to get by the traffic in a more convenient section and was able to gap the Frenchman. And then there's another 2 seconds back to Benjamin Peterson. Then Tom Blomqvist and Felipe Fraga runs to the top 5.
Peterson has been super impressive. We expected these sort of performances from Cameron, Dillman, Blomqvist, and Fraga, etc. But Peterson does not have a ton of prototype experience. He's done an amazing job here.
Lexus biggest movers. And we've just been talking about Mario Farnbacher. Up 8 positions. Lauren Heinrich up 7.
And he is good to go at the finish here, Lee. He should be good to go in terms of winning time that last pit stop. You're back timing these races as to when the checkered flag will fall, what your fuel range is, and at that point, you hit pit lane.
New race leader. It's the winner from a year ago, Tom Dillman. Can he drive all the way to victory lane? Blue flags waving everywhere as the United Autosports 22 of Tom Blomqvist.
Farnbacher! This is the moment gets into barriers.
Wow! This is a car that could have had the victory this afternoon, and that has all just disappeared in a moment.
Just had that little bobble there, got into the marbles, and even someone as skilled and experienced as Mario Farnbacher just couldn't get it back together. But yellows here in the later stages of this race historically.
So here comes Blomqvist and McElroy. Tom's clear. Hunter's right there.
A little bit, gets squeezed a little bit, and I think when he tried to tighten his hands up, he suddenly lost the rear and had to correct it, and before he knew it, he was offline in the marbles, Lee. And this late in the race is really treacherous there, offline.
Here's the view from Philip Ellis.
Watch there, see how he gets squeezed, and there may have been a brush, actually, as McElroy's given chase there and just kind of came across online, and Mario couldn't tighten his hands up anymore. Who got their tires prepped the best as we get ready for green here? Dillman will lead them away. Cameron in the purple dragon right behind him.
Tom Blomqvist will have another shot. The bright yellow car, Hunter McElroy, Felipe Fraga, Ben Hanley. There's the green. Let's do it. Let's finish this off. After the second full course caution, the P2 cars whip up to speed.
Oh, there's a car off now on one of the Paul Miller Racing BMWs, I believe. They're in the backdrop.
Sure was. Went wide. It's the 48.
It's going to get really feisty here in the final stages of this race. There's Robbie Foley trying to make a move around the outside of the 021, and Dillman's off. He's off the road.
The race leader has lost it.
Can you believe it?
There will be no defense of the victory of a year ago for the Inter-Europol driver.
Yeah, there's going to be a yellow, Lee. Caution is out.
When in control
Big
and
time.
in command, that is a nasty crash. And this is the crash that brings us under this latest full course caution. Heavy, massive impact for Tom Dillman.
Yeah, really bizarre situation there. He's on the identical line to what Dane Cameron was doing right behind him. So I assume it was a technical issue with the race car in terms of the suspension potentially.
As you see the top category here, LMP2, Hunter McElroy, while he's third at the moment, that will be a post-race penalty assessed. We already know that. He was meant to do a drive-through if the race remained green, so that'll change the order, and it will elevate the 74 Riley Motorsports car and Felipe Fraga and Gar Robinson to a podium spot. Checkered flag is out. It's at a slower pace, but AO Racing wins in LMP2 for the very first time. Dane Cameron and PJ Hyatt here in Canada. Tom Blomqvist in United Autosports, and then Felipe Fraga will grab third in GTD Pro. How about that for Dragon Speed?
They can't believe it. Giacomo there, he's got his hands on his cheeks. He just can't believe what happened there.
And in GTD, it is a spin-to-win scenario for Trent Hinman and Danny Famal. The most unlikely day. They were backwards at the end of lap 1, and now they're fully forwards to victory lane.
It doesn't matter the class, the car, the situation, the track. When you're a wheelman, you rise to the occasion. Congratulations, Dane Cameron. What it means most to you about how everything has transpired this year, and you got this team to victory lane with PJ?
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal to come here. I mean, first of all, I'd like to say, you know, thinking of Tom, not sure how that ended up for him, but it's not really the way we wanted to win the race, not how we wanted to end the race, so thinking of him if he's a bit hurt. But honestly, today I'm just so proud of PJ. That was so phenomenal at the beginning. To lap half the class is incredible. So proud of him, so proud to be a part of it. We knew it was possible. It was going to take a little while, but we're rolling now, so let's see what happens.
What a massive fight, though, between yourself, Tom Blomqvist, and the 43 for quite a while.
Yeah, it's fun. It's IMSA racing. You know, you got to use the traffic. You have to use your head, place the car the right way, pace, all of it. You know, I love how you have to think in these races. It's cool for LMP2 to have their day in the sun here.
Well, we're going to try to catch up with PJ Hyatt in just a little bit. He's making his way to victory lane, but we're going to circle back with him in a few moments. But certainly, it's going to be one heck of a celebration here with AO Racing.
Let's check out the updated P2 driver standings. And there is pressure being mounted on Dan Goldberg, who now leads by himself because, of course, Paul DeResta not here today. He's got the AO Racing guys zeroing in.
Yeah, maximum point score. There's bonus points in qualifying now, so they got that yesterday with the pole position for PJ Hyatt. But a maximum point score of 350 today for the win, so they're closing in. This is going to be a sensational battle through the end of this championship season with 3 rounds to go. They run the sprint race at Road America, then the 2 Enduros at Indy and Petit Le Mans.
You're used to us saying WTR Wayne Taylor Racing winning in prototype competition, but not in GTD. Let's go there now and join the celebration with Brian.
Big-time celebrations down here as Trent Hinman trying to cool off a little bit. Spin on the first lap to victory at the end. Now, Travis Hogue told me 100%. We're good, 100%. When did you believe it was 100% good?
I believed it the whole time. Whatever those guys tell me up on that Wayne Taylor Racing pit box, I trust them. I have all the faith in the world in them. Our guys over the wall, Danny, everybody did a fantastic job. I've been on the wrong side of these kind of races enough in the past to where you take it when you can get it. That's exactly what we did, and I'm just so grateful for the whole Dex Wayne Taylor Racing team.
How much coasting down the hills? Clutch in, anything like that? Was it that severe, or was it just easy on the throttle?
Pretty close to it. Pretty close to it, especially in the second half of that middle stint there. So just phenomenal job by the whole team. Danny, it's a long time coming for him.
Tell you what, so Travis is telling me 100%. I look up at Danny on the box, and he's got his head in his hands. When did you believe it was 100%?
To be honest, it was a crazy race. Obviously, got T-Bone going into T9, fighting for second in the start. Kind of on the back foot there, drove the whole stint with a broken rim. As probably you guys saw it, vibration was abnormal, but the team never gave up, told me to keep on going, keep on pushing. kind of had no feeling on my right leg or right arm from the vibration, but the car was fantastic at race pace. We knew that coming in. And the guys in Wayne Taylor Racing, everyone in that stand, we really, truly deserve this. We've had it close so many times, and Trent did fantastic. That fuel save was majestical, a Scott Dixon kind of. So I'm so proud of him, so proud of the team, so proud of Dex, so proud of Wayne Taylor Racing. We deserve this win. Thank you to everyone. And now we go celebrate. Seriously, we really needed that. This program's fantastic and long time coming. I want to thank also Trent, again, that stint. Also, because of the vibration, when I put the water, our water tube in the car, it fell off, so he drove 2 hours with no water. And Lamborghini doesn't have AC, so yeah, Iron Man over here.
Iron Man. And guys, when you look at it at the beginning of the season, this driver lineup, this team, this car, you would have expected this result by now. They kept the frustration at bay, and they find the victory here in Canada.
They do, and Danny Formel said it was a long time coming. Well, think of this. Danny's the first driver from Costa Rica since Javier Quiros back in 1997, and guess where it was at? Right here at Mosport at the time, now CTMP.
That's another reason to celebrate. What a cool stat. Updated GTD driver standings. And Russell Ward and Philip Ellis, 93 ahead of the Lexus duo.
Fascinating battle this brewing there. This is going to go all the way down to the wire. They extend it a little bit with that runner-up finish, but ahead of the 12 car here today, Lee.
How about in GTD Pro, from last to first? Tell us more, Matt.
Dragon speed after a second and a third on the podium. They scored GTD Pro victory. Albert Costa, man, how would you even describe this day? Back to the front again.
We woke up this morning saying, okay, we need to play the gamble because we were not fast. We were the slowest car on track. And we play hard. We managed all the time the situation with the fuel tank. And yeah, actually in the last lap I said to them, in the radio, guys, if I knew that the overtake to Catsburg was for the lead and for the win, it would be different. But now knowing that, it's amazing, you know. But yeah, we play the gamble, everything worked on our side. Happy for the team, for the strategy they make. We were lucky for once, and yeah, now we need to keep it up because I think now for the championship is good. So thanks to all of them for the support and the hard job, especially to him.
A day of almost perfect execution.
Yeah, obviously it's not the way we want to win, and I hope Tom is doing well. And in the end we were lucky, but this is a really good result, important for us, for the team. It's not been an easy weekend, but we made the most out of it, so mega, so happy.
I think I remember an old phrase where luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and these guys put themselves in position to take home the W.
Well done to Elton Julian and Dragon Speed with Reese organisation. Updated GTD Pro driver points, and this is the tightest battle that we have between Corvette, Pratt Miller, and the AO77. This is good, Cal.
This is really tight indeed, and as Albert Costa said, we are now very much in the championship picture. Look at that, only 53 points back. To put it in perspective, the difference between first and third in one of these races alone is 50 points. That's how tight it is.
If you can start the day on pole position and end the day in victory lane, it doesn't get any better, right? Well, that's the case that it is for PJ Hyatt. Here he is.
Everyone always dreams of a day like this. Reality, match, or surpass that dream, PJ?
It's a wonderful day, especially with P2 being the overall winner. It makes it even more sweet. I thought for sure you were doing the commentator's curse talking to me before the race ended. And I was like, oh, here we go. He did jinx it, but no, it ended up working out perfectly. So, yeah, couldn't be happier.
What makes you most proud of this whole group here, of what you've accomplished?
Well, AO has really worked incredibly hard over these past couple of seasons, especially on the P2 program. To see our fellow garage mates do so well in the GTD Pro car. Rexy won the championship last year. I think it was time for a little spike love on the other side of the garage, and this is a testament to all of the incredibly hard work on the P2 side.
Certainly a lot of spike love now. They're going to celebrate a W overall win in LMP2 here at CTMP.
You're back with us during the Raw before the 24. We've got 35 minutes to go here for the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship 4th session. So pit lane speed violation for car number 1, and that has received a 1-minute warning on the board. So not too bad to come into contention at the moment. That's the GTD Pro BMW M4 GT3 Evo. If I check with the team names as well, it's the Paul Miller Racing. It's got the slowest time of anyone on the board at the moment. That's a 2-minute 1.016. Well, this is only a single hour of running, and we've already had 47 of the cars out there at the moment. 13 still in the pit lane. Conditions still, track temperature now at 84 Fahrenheit. Air temperature is at 72. Humidity's risen up to 61. Now, remember, we were expecting a frost at some point, which is surprising considering that we're in Florida at Daytona, but all looking strong with good conditions so far, and a good amount of running in. Now, top times at the moment would see Felipe Albuquerque, he's top in GTP with a 1:36.731. Again, not the quickest time we've seen so far this weekend. Kevin Estre is second, 1:36.839, so just a tenth of a second off. And then we've got the number 31 Cadillac V-Line running in third. Fourth is the number 40 Cadillac Rain Taylor Racing as well on Louis Delatraz 1:37.071. Leader in LMP2 is the 24-hour legend Ben Hanley in the United Autosport USA, 1:39.922. He's a 10th clear to the Tower Motorsport number 8 with Sebastian Bourdais currently at the wheel. Moving further down, GTD is being led by Romain Grosjean in the Meyer Riley Motorsport 1:47.667. Now, IndyCar, interestingly enough, posted a little bit of a leak on their website yesterday that it looks like Dale Coyne Racing is going to sign Romain Grosjean to the IndyCar team ahead of the 2026 season. Now, Roman's been out of IndyCar racing for a couple of years since the spectacular falling out he suffered with Andretti, but it looks like he could be back with Dale Coyne Racing for this season. That's according to IndyCar's website. So time will tell if this stateside visit for Romain is permanent and the Phoenix could rise again from the ashes. 31 minutes to go at the moment. In the leader in GTD Pro is Nicky Katzberg in the Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports 1:47.810. So a little bit between the two pro drivers. Of course, the GTD is the amateur driver. The GTD Pro is the all-pro aspect lineup. The GTD has some amateur drivers in. Romain is one of the pros in that position, so needs to sort of wait to see what's going to happen next. Okay, so we've caught up on the Rolex 24 Hours, the Sebring 12, the Long Beach Grand Prix, the Grand Prix Monterey, the Grand Prix of Detroit, Watkins Glen, and now also at the Chevrolet Grand Prix from Canada. Next up on our list is going to be the Road America race coming in. Car 6 penalty for improper attire while fueling the car. That's been given a drive-through penalty. And just a reminder, in case you're new here, the penalties that you see flashing up on the race control board, that is for this session, and they do have to be served in these sessions. So the drive-through penalties and the stop-goes, they are applicable in an actual test session as well. It's not just a holdover for the race or anything like that. They all have to be served in this session. So that is the current gist of information that we're having to contend with as things currently stand. But so far, so good in the world of sporting action. Because it's all going incredibly well. Road America is our next tour of office, and that is the Grand Prix as well at the famous Earhart Lake in Wisconsin, and it is next up on our board. So let's send it back to Road America.
Look at the prototypes, 2 different classes, GTP up front, then LMP2, a little less horsepower, but cornering speed for the LMP2 machines is massive because of the downforce, and then there will be a gap back to the GT-based machinery. On pole, the Acura, the red, white, and black 93, and Nick Yellowly. From the get-go, on it immediately, and already trying to find some temperature in those Michelin tires, moving back and forth, and BMW teammates looking side by side into one.
That was really tight. That big move around the outside. You see that metallic blue car. That's Philippe Albuquerque on the attack, side by side with Colin Brown as they hit the brakes on for turn 3. Now one of the Penske machines gets to the inside, and Goldberg, the championship leader in LMP2, is off the road.
And this is the second problem for Daniel Goldberg in the last 5 minutes. When they went out on the first pace lap, he spun coming out of turn 6 and now has had another problem, but he has contacted the wall. Rear wing seems to be missing off of the 22.
Goldberg comes around the outside there. Just not enough room there. There's also track limits that all of the drivers are aware of on the exit of turn 1, so it was a bold move by our championship leader.
Here we go. Up front, Nick Yellowly aboard the 93, the Acura, pulls the trigger, trying to get temperature. You saw him coming up into the restart zone, moving back and forth, trying to get some temperature. He gets a good run through 14 up the front straightaway, but the BMWs have been wicked quick this weekend.
They certainly have. We saw Dries Van Toor getting pretty feisty with his teammate Sheldon van der Linde, separated by the red and blue banners. The red banner on the BMWs, the 25 of van der Linde, the blue banner on the windshield. There's Dries Van Toor if you're trying to identify the 2 BMWs there sitting in 2nd and 3rd.
Number 7, Porsche from the Penske stables, trying to look to the inside of the 31. Nothing doing there. The thing that is odd is looking that far back to find Felipe Nasr and Matty Campbell aboard the 7 and the 6, still looking for pace here at Road America. Oh, and a problem for the GTD entry. That's the Rolex 24 winner. No, that's the 70. Sorry, they look so much alike.
And this was one of my kind of dark horse favorites for a win here.
Look at turn 7.
Just gets it wrong.
Yeah.
It's a really tricky corner there, Brian, and just gets wide of apex. All come in, Albuquerque. Both Taylor racing cars elect to stay out there.
But it's like they changed their mind.
Well, it was going to be really tight, Brian. I mean, we talked about energy save here. That was on everyone's mind coming in, because the way you cut it, if you go flat out in one of these GTP machines, you're only going to get about 48-minute stint. And that doesn't work if you're trying to do it on 2 stops on a 160-minute race, 2 hours 40, of course. So I think this will allow these drivers and teams to have a little more flexibility with their pit stop windows moving forward. You also get the class reset, so even though it looks like they're going to be buried in these GT field, they'll get the class reset before we go back to green and be right behind those cars who stayed out. Kevin?
Yeah, there's a lot of takers as we get, not quite to midway through a stint. It's fuel only, and the 24 BMW is going to win the race off of this group. Then it's the 31, the 60, and the 6, the 7, all the way in the back of this group.
Nick Yellowly up front in the Acura, the 93, waiting until late in the restart zone. And was it too late? Although I saw a little wheel spin from Sheldon van der Linde just behind him aboard the number 25 BMW, and that may have thwarted his run up the front straightaway.
2 Wayne Taylor racing cars running in 3rd and 4th. Jordan Taylor, the bit of a run on Philippe Albuquerque. He gets proactive with that racing line into turn 1 and into the brake zone.
Cars that stay down in GTP, 93, 25, 40, 10, and 23. And that 23 Aston Martin has been super quick all weekend long. The development of that car continuing to progress and progress rapidly.
Yeah, first 6 cars leading the field right now did not hit pit lane. You see the yellow car, the JDC Miller Motorsport entry, now being under the attack. Dries Van Toor forces the issue, almost like a can opener down to the inside.
Ross Gunn aboard the Aston Martin, picking up a position as well, side by side, up the hill into 6. He clears. The 52 has had a problem. Carousel.
This is where Tony's had his problem as well.
And it doesn't take much.
No. And as the race wears on, Brian, you get more and more of those marbles out there. And and it's like you're just skating.
So can they get this car, the 22, out in the next 37 minutes, 38 minutes, basically, on the racetrack? They would pick up a position, and at season's end, that position may be the difference in second in the championship or taking the big trophy home.
Kevin.
Well, it's pretty tight up here with all the GTPs pitted here together. The Porsche Penske's are in pit out a little further back there. You see the race leading number 93 Meyer-Shank Acura. They're making a change. Renger van der Zandt is getting in the car for the 25 BMW with RLL, and they are in second. Marco Whitman is getting in the car, so solid stint for them. And the race off pit road, good exit for the 31, but the 6 is going to beat everybody out, followed by the 31, the 10, the 7, the 40, and then the 93.
Matthew Jaminet, what a good jump he got, Calvin. Look at that as he heads up the hill.
Yeah, that was masterful there. Kind of weaving around, and then suddenly, boom, I go. Gives him a chance to weave around a little bit more. He's not under pressure. Doesn't have to think about his racing line into that first corner. This is tight there. 60 car Blomqvist feeling the heat from behind. Roman DeAngelis, the Canadian, now on board the number 23 Valkyrie.
Down to turn 3 and down to GT.
Contact there with the BMW, getting to the inside of the number 3. That is our championship leader in the wars.
Wow, and it's still continuing down to turn 3, and the other Corvette goes around. Oh, and big contact as they go to avoid him.
You've got to be so careful here. I mean, I'm sure Nicky's anxious to get going here, but if you try and nose it forward, that pile of GT cars coming through the field.
There was contact and a lot of debris scattered. Somebody got together, but right now the 3 is going to be stuck in the gravel, and this is a real risk of losing a lap.
Does he try and go at the outside?
No, he's going to look.
He does, yeah. I think he tries to go to the outside here of Harper, who's aboard the Paul Miller Racing. And they get through. It's very similar to what happened to Goldberg and Kurtz at the beginning of this race in LMP2. That was a very aggressive move there by Alex Sims.
I was going to say.
Outside, and
it's cut and paste.
Yeah.
There is contact.
Oh, he did get contact. Didn't get the rear wings above the tire bundle, but you have to worry about that right rear corner. Here's the other Corvette, Nicky Katzberg, right in the mix here. When he tucks inside, the Lamborghini goes wide. I think Nicky kind of cut back across the line a little bit.
But Heinrich got into the back of him and turned him.
So,
all for a great cause, and looks like we're back to green flag.
He had that Terminator look, guys. We're back to green.
Back to green, and already you see aggressive by the 40, trying to find a way forward around the 7. Look at this down in the turn 3.
He's in that Terminator mode as well right now. He wants a piece of Nick Tandy. Tandy has got to be devastated after that moment that he had at Watkins Glen with the big crash. They need a bounce back. They lost the championship lead for the very first time, and he is feeling the pressure right now. Gets defensive and proactive with his line into that brake zone. Then he moves back to the middle of the road.
14 on pit road. On board when he's talking about going right and everybody going left.
Wow, this is a stack up here. I think the green is out for the prototype cars, and Philip Ellis, once it's green, it's not like the initial start, you're allowed to go.
Repeater up in the paddock, so place your spotters around the racetrack.
Heinrich around the outside, and he gets roughed up again by the 65. This is cut and paste from earlier in this race.
And who's right there? The 4 as well. And so for Lauren Heinrich, he's got to go, man, American Muscle is beating me up. Corvette has a draft, has a run. What can he do with it? Heinrich to block to the inside. If you want it, you got to go around the high side. Over and under, is it going to work? Not this time.
And here comes the 93 car, Renger van der Zandt in the Acura.
He's going to get side by side with the Cadillac, but he thinks better of it.
That was pretty aggressive there by Ricky Taylor.
Yeah.
That he knew that he had him clear, or a spotter was giving him that information. Taylor on the attack. Whoa. He's in the dirt. He's around. Big squeeze there by Tandy. Stews will look at that one. Pretty aggressive there. Was Taylor alongside?
Yes.
You have to feel he was by the fact that he turned it around there, got wheels in the grass.
It should just be gather the field up, prototypes first. Here's what happens. This is like hyper aggressive to me by Nick Tandy, except for the fact
he started it early.
He started it.
Yeah, he was kind of moving that way already, and Ricky just stayed with it, tried to accelerate alongside him, and the gap was narrowing rapidly like a funnel.
Typically, the rule...
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them to call. There was contact, obviously, initiated by Tandy's change of direction, but Nick was moving early. He immediately came out of turn 5 and went on the defense.
Issue, and I don't know if... Obviously, I would think that the officials have that information. Otherwise, they would not leave them out there. That's something that is closely measured. Pits open for prototypes.
And it's some with just right side tires, left side tires rather, and the 7 gets out in front of the 6. I know the 6 only took left sides. I think that's the same for the 7, but a flip-flop up top. Top 2 in the championship, separated by only 12 entering the day, and it might flip back if it stays this way. However, can the 24 and 25 make it?
Ooh, wow, that was close.
That was close, and I tell you what, if you hit one of those RFID readers, those boxes left and right as you come out of pit lane, we saw Richard Westbrook do this at the Glen last year. I think it's a 5-minute penalty. Look at the run that Randerzander gets on the number 7 car of Nick Tandy. And now he's going to go to the outside of the 6 car of Jaminet. Archie-bargy into the turn 1 brake zone. Vanderzander on the attack big time, and he's outside. He's outside the track limits there. And now we see Nick Tandy serving that. Not just a drive-through, it's a stop plus 60. You get 39 seconds on pit lane plus 60. Put that together, it's basically a lap.
I'm glad we're a long way away from the penalty box, because I've got a feeling the temperature inside the cockpit right now for Nick Tandy is not cool by any stretch of the imagination. To Earl Bamber just in front as the 57 comes to pit road.
Yeah, this has not been the day. I mean, the weekend was just looked incredible in terms of they did some simulation runs in practice. Ward was really quick. He laid down that lap yesterday to grab pole faster than both GT classes, and it's just gone a little bit pear-shaped on them. Oh, so there's the start. Ellis down the inside. I think he was being squeezed a little bit. And they come up the hill. Okay, that was a little bit late. They're basically saying, well, you deserve to... I mean, he lost a position, so yeah, was he a bit aggressive in defending that line? But it didn't really cost Gamble anything, so... Again, it seems like that someone in the stewards' office said, you know what, enough's enough today. I'm going to start to put the hammer down a little bit and straighten these boys out.
But the 77, there it is. I was getting ready to say, you've got to know that Paul Miller team was telling Neil Verhagen he's going to have to pit.
Yeah.
He's going to have to pit. Don't do anything crazy, and there it is.
They were hoping for some big yellows here to finish off, so their day's going upside down here a little bit in terms of championship positions. Kevin.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious they had no chance. They've been out for about an hour, 20-plus minutes, so we always knew they were going to have to come in. What a flip in that championship it would have been. Still a chance to try to score some points, so now one of the BMWs in GTD Pro is going to be able to take over with Neil Verhagen and the Paul Miller Racing team.
Oh, this is special. Look at this battle right here. It is intense.
Costa was last in this class. He's now battled his way back up to 5th. Trying to make a move on the 48 car. Can you believe that the championship leaders have got their way back into podium position with Garcia behind the wheel now?
That's battle for 3rd in GTD Pro, and the battle for the lead in GTD just behind them. Those 5 cars, it is intense. And right now, Alec Udell going, come on, guys, get out of the way, because I've got Kenton Cook in this Triarzi Ferrari right behind me, really putting pressure on me. But Udell has nowhere to go. Problem for the 4. That's mechanical. Here the engine is shut down, and Nicky Katzberg.
The King. There's a safe haven there, so I'm not sure if some marshals can safely get out there and pull that car backwards, or if he can find reverse. If the 3 car was a bit deeper in the pack, maybe they'd have left him there, Brian. But the fact that Garcia is in podium position,
yeah, you want to keep him going. So Katzberg gets that 4 behind the wall. He's in a safe place, so he'll have to be a spectator for the next 8.5 minutes or so. And meanwhile, this continues.
Udell then, you can see his little proactive middle of the road in the brake zone. Here comes Kenton Cook for the lead of the race. They rub. Kenton Cook is through. Triazzi Competizione leads, and Udell is off the road momentarily. but they may want to say, whatever you do, don't let the 93 by, and he's got a big run. He has to give it up on the entry of the kink.
I held my breath for just a second. I thought he was going to stay with it. Yes, Marco Wittmann may be told, I don't care how wide that car gets to be, you are going to protect your teammate.
You have to be the ultimate wingman right now.
For Philippine, trying to bring a 24 class win for BMW Team RLL, the 24th for that team, if he can make it through the final couple of corners. And for Philippine, it would be his third IMSA class win. And for his teammate, Dries Vanthoor, it would be his first. And what a place to get it done. One corner left. You put the problems behind, you focus forward. It's exactly what this team has done for BMW Team RLL. They'll take the win at Road America in GTP, and it may be a banner day for that mark as we wait for the GTD Pro leaders to find their way onto the front straightaway. And can Neil Verhagen be at the line first when the checkered flag falls on GTD Pro?
He's coming through the final corner, Brian, so he's got to just run it up the hill. He's got a massive lead, so what a day for BMW here at Road America.
Indeed. Madison Snow has tasted victory at Road America. Neil Verhagen, it's his turn. The teammates claim victory here. BMW wins in GTD Pro, and they'll celebrate the win in GTP as well. Talk about celebrating. Spike the Dragon flies across the line in the hands of Dane Cameron. They'll celebrate the victory there. 2 in a row for AO Racing, and Kenton Cook in his Triarzi Ferrari, they will celebrate in GTD at Road America. BMWs side by side, a 1-2 finish, and how special is that for that team? Every team member, the team owner Bobby Rahal, the drivers, the mark, in spite of the dark clouds that have formed over the last couple of weeks, sun shines brightly here at Road America today.
What a season it's been. The pace has always been here for the number 24 BMW. And Philip, you brought it home. What are the emotions after being so fast but not being able to convert?
It's a big relief for the whole team.
Marco Wittmann in the other car.
First of all, the most important thing is that Nick, our driver helper, is okay. There was a little incident in the pit lane. Thank you, man. And I mean, this guy and the whole team, after the restart, he did such an incredible job passing all those cars. And our car was on rails today. The team did a strategic masterclass, boxing us on the very early window. And here we are. I can't be happier. And thanks to everyone. Thanks to my family. I think they're watching at home.
Dries, you've been fast all year. Now you're in victory lane for the first time here.
Yeah, indeed. It's been such a difficult, weird season with a lot of highlights, but a lot of lows as well for us. So to always come back and, try everything what we can to win. It's not easy, but we never gave up, and we had a very, very bad start to the race with an issue at the pit stop. Luckily, the mechanic is okay. So not really know what to say. I mean, the car was just amazing today. Philip did a good job, and the strategy was we anyway had to take risks because we were last. So then, of course, it can work out sometimes, and today it did. So yeah, amazing. So super happy we finally could get a win home after many poles, but never really a win. We could bring it home today.
Congratulations, well done. A little bit of gamble on strategy, the caution they needed, and the pace to keep it out front for a win for BMW and Team RLL.
And the points get thrown in the Cuisinart. It's crazy with the problems for the 7th. They drop well back, and Ing and Vanthoor move up. Yellowly and Van der Zande move down.
Yeah, that 12-point lead gets blown out to 75, and with that victory, gives them an outside shot. If they could go to Indy and repeat on what they did here last year, that would certainly tighten up to be within arm's length, within the point swing, as we call it, going to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
But like you said, you never want to go to Petit Le Mans having to perform. You'd like it a little more comfort level. Let's check in with the winners in LMP2.
The 2024 GTP champion, Dane Cameron. The new boss looks a lot like the old boss. Your 4th win here. Was this just a perfectly executed race by you and PJ?
Yeah, about perfect, to be honest. I mean, most was great to get that first one out of the way. I didn't really love that it felt like a gift, so I wanted to do it again and make sure there was no doubt what this team was capable of. So, yeah, honestly, couldn't have been any better. My favorite kind of race. You get to the lead, you have to play with the fuel, run the pace. Yeah, spectacular. So proud of everybody here. PJ did an awesome job. Points lead now, and let's see what happens.
So you came in second. Now you're going to leave unofficially with the championship standings. Has this team gone to another level because of the confidence from the win at Canada?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's just that self-doubt kind of gone until you get the first one, right? So they were always a little short, and trying to get over that hump is so hard sometimes. So everybody was just executing perfectly. You see that little bit of lightness, that weight is off of everybody's shoulders now that they know they can do it. And now we proved again and again now that we can do it. So, hopefully this carries forward. 2 to go. Yeah, I'd love to get another one here.
So, son Luke, possibly a third-generation racer, how would you describe Dad's performance and the win here today?
I don't know. He's just a good driver, and I'd love to have him as my dad.
Absolutely. I think the proudness even more. He loves to have Luke as his son. Emotion in victory lane. That's what this IMSA WeatherTech racing is all about. Love it.
Yeah, about family, that's for sure. So, Dane Cameron, big hugs there, big time celebrations. They'll continue to celebrate. And from LMP2, take a look at the points now. Daniel Goldberg, I don't think he did anything wrong at the start, but you sit back and you second guess a little bit and you go, maybe next time I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you got the championship lead. It was a bold move. Obviously, you got the little bump from George there, no penalty call, but you can see it's turned the championship upside down from a 78-point lead coming in, now 100 markers plus, heading to the next round at Indy.
Yeah, we said all the championships still wide open. They certainly are indeed in LMP2. Let's check in now with our winners in GTD Pro.
We're still waiting for Madison Snow to get here, but he's been here, done that in IMSA. But for Neil Verhagen, it's the first win. He gets it for Paul Miller Racing and BMW. An American kid, but you've raced a lot in Europe. What's the significance of this for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible, obviously. First win here in IMSA. Madison's got a couple under his belt, so I'm going to start trying to catch up. So it's been great to be working with him this year, and yeah, I mean, it feels so awesome. I felt like we had some momentum going our way in Mosport with the pole, and to pull off the win here is just phenomenal.
And Madison, the 77 was out front. I didn't think they could make it, but they were trying. If they got a big yellow, were you getting a little bit worried about Rexy?
For sure I was worried. I mean, I was worried before that last stint when there was 10 minutes or 15 minutes till a yellow. There was a lot of nervous moments in this race, but I mean, we had it. It played out. It was awesome.
Congratulations. Now both of the Paul Miller Racing BMWs have a win in GTD Pro this season.
They do, and it mixes things up a little bit. Remember the problems that we saw for Corvette racing throughout the day. Garcia and Sims stay up top. That lead 30 over Albert Costa right now. Bachler and Heinrich there in third and 97. Even back to Rockefeller and Prio, this championship is far from over. I would even say back as far as 5th and 6th. Mathematically, you could get it done. Remember, smaller fields in GTD Pro, so a little bit harder to make up that ground. But, yeah, this is going to go all the way to season's end. Let's check in now with Matt and our GTD winners.
Cook and Triarci, it sounds like a law office. Kenton, walk us through how you set up and made the pass. Not a whole lot of time to spare to get the win.
Oh man, yeah, what a race. It was a blast, first of all, and extremely thankful to be a part of the Triarci family here in a Ferrari 296. It was a hoot. Yeah, it's definitely interesting understanding where the strengths and weaknesses are between the manufacturers, and we had some bottom end, not quite the top, but the Corvette didn't have the bottom. Have the top. So when he got inside in the middle of the road there for 5, got him to block a little bit. He just didn't get the run off. I got there and I was going. So we had a fun time, and yeah, very proud of Onofre here. This guy freaking put it up there in qualifying and gave me a great car to race with.
So you know what it was like to score your first win close at the Glen. What does today mean to you with all the hard work that you have put into it up to this point?
Oh, it means everything to us. I mean, the team couldn't deserve it more. We worked so hard to be here. We knew our time was coming. We just didn't know when, and we just kept fighting for it, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Best feeling in the world indeed, and to do it at such a special racetrack
in North America. Road America.
And they got 3 more opportunities to do it again. So we go to VIR, then Indianapolis, then Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta for Petit Le Mans. Only the second time in this car for Kit Cook. What a great job he did. Here's a look at the points. Even with the problems that the Windward squad had, they still maintained the championship lead. 112 now over Hawksworth and Thompson. And that's the thing. The GTD class is so well subscribed that if your nearest competitors have a bad day too, maybe it won't hurt so much. Casper Stevenson right there on the heels of Hawksworth and Thompson. So all 4 championships still very much alive as we look towards the final few races of the 2025 season. Stars, cars, it's what the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is all about. Now be sure to join us Sunday, August 24th.
Well, there we have it, all the race highlights from Road America. We have less than that actually, what have we got? 3 minutes 47 left on the clock. 52 cars are out on the circuit, 8 are in the pit lane, and it is pretty much exactly the same as it was 20 minutes ago as we bring you to the end of this hour of action. 2 hours, I should say, coming up later on today. That is going to be from UK time point 11:30 till 1:30 a.m. And that is over there, stateside, 6:30 p.m. Eastern till 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be when you can join us once more here on JB Motorsports for all of the action. There's a lot to do in this running order. First session, though, we've had without a red flag. I know that's cursing a little bit with 3 minutes to go, but it is brilliant news. Kevin Estre just went fastest of all in the first sector at 23.204 in the Porsche Penske Motorsport. He has not improved at all. So he's still a 10th down on his last run. Sector 2, 45.251. Third sector, 28.133. 4 times he has been in the pit lane. So no dramatic improvements coming through. As I just get a notification reminding me about my Duolingo, which is always something to keep an eye on, so in case there was a red flag or anything. Leader in LMP2 is Michael Jensen in the United Autosports USA number 2 car, running a tie-up with my microphone leads. There we go. He's running a 1 minute 39.924. GTD being led still by the Myers Rally Motorsport number 16. Now with Altsman at the wheel, running 147.667. Number 4, Corvette Racing by Prattman Motorsports, 147.810. Running in second position on that monitor. Just a reminder, sadly, no live TV pictures of the Raw before the 24. We've only got live timings available. But that's not too bad. There is still some racing action that you can watch via Peacock and IMSA TV this weekend because we still do go racing. Also, highly recommend, if you're a motorsport fan, Mikey Doble, who's driving the British Touring Car Championship against all odds. He has put out a documentary that is just went available live a couple of hours ago. You see that yet? To come into it, that would be something as well. But we've got 50 seconds left, and the drivers look like they're happy. 50 out on the track, 10 in the pits. Looks like as soon as we're done here, they'll all go back in. And not going to do any additional bonus laps as of this time. I thought that we might get a few. Turns out they don't want them at this current moment in time. My headphone leads got wrapped up around my mic lead, which is something I have not missed about using a lip mic, is the leads getting tangled up. There we go. You want to go one way, your headphone leads want to go another. That time invalidated at 26 for car 2, shortcut down at turn 7, which is the Le Mans chicane further back at the exit. At the back here. Checkered flag is out. And that concludes the 4th session of the Raw before the 24. It's 4:10 in the afternoon in Daytona. Felipe Albuquerque is top for the number 10 Cadillac Wayne Taylor Racing. LMP2 led by the number 2 Mikael Jensen, United Autosport USA. And number 16 in GTD leads for Miles Riley Motorsport. And the number 4 Corvette Racing with Packman Motorsport leads GTD Pro. Not a bad session, that one. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get a few improvements on the times later on this evening, mainly because it will be not a more relaxed atmosphere, but it will be a race run with the first time we get to run under the lights. We ran into the dusk yesterday, but this will be the first time we actually get night running. So the lights will be on here at Daytona, the 24-hour versions of the lights as well, which will all be in Good News books. Just waiting for everybody to take the checkered flag. Not all have. 17 have come into the pit lane. And then we will wrap up. Reminder that you can join us for this evening's session live here on JB Motorsports. You'll be redirected automatically once this broadcast completes to tonight's running of the Raw before the 24 on air 2 minutes before the session starts. Coming up tonight, we've got highlights from Virginia, Indianapolis, and the season finale of the Petit Le Mans. Tomorrow, we've got in our first show, session number 6, we've got the IMSA season preview. And in the evening, we've got the latest news, views, and opinions of everybody else. Why did the 23 Aston Martin not go out on the circuit? Not sure. Neither did the 77 of Harry King that had problems this morning. I will try and deduce what's happened to the 23 on our social media channels, because we have access to several of the team's media briefings that they give us. So as soon as we find out, we will let you know. Not entirely 100% sure. Due to mechanical issues suffered in Session 3, both Aston Martin Valkyrie and Porsche Rexy will not set a single lap time in Session 4, waiting to see if both cars will be able to return to the night session in Daytona later on. That's from ESR, the Endurance Sports Race Cars on Twitter. So that is why they have not gone out, due to the technical issues. Pleasure Valkyrie, watch Valkyrie on YouTube to give you that information. So it is a technical issue. So even Rexy, who stopped in the 77, the AQ Racing this morning, that was a Porsche entry, but no, didn't want to go out. So that's the problem. All cars have now taken the checkered flag, and they are returning into the pit lane as they come out of Speedway 4, the last corner on this circuit. And that brings to an end the 1 hour of running. 2 hours coming up tonight, and I hope you can join us for that here on JB Motorsports. It is going to be quite the excitement. I'll move indoors for that one, so I'll sound a little different. I'll have a headset, not a lip microphone pressed against me, which some people say sounds better. Don't worry, lip mic won't be for the 24 hours. I'm not insane. Anybody who's a motorsport commentator knows you can't hold these things up to your mouth for 24 hours. Your entire lip will lose blood pressure. Either way, that's it from Session 4. Session 5 coming your way in 2 hours and 20 minutes time. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.